What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here, as always, on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, and today I'm going to be discussing from 2013, The Package, starring Stone Cold Steve Austin, Dolph Lundgren, Eric Kinleyside, and John Novak. What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining me here today for yet another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. As I said, I will be discussing The Package, starring Stone Cold Steve Austin and Dolph Lundgren. And let's get right into it. Our film opens in a bowling alley, and Lewis is there having some fun with his buddies. Tommy shows up. Tommy is Stone Cold Steve Austin. And Tommy is muscle for a mobster named Big Doug, who Lewis borrowed money from and is yet to pay it back. Tommy's even given Lewis a 10-day extension and still hasn't paid the money back. So they grab Lewis, rough him up a little bit, and they put his face down at the ball return. Tommy's partner, Julio, rolls a gutter ball, waits for the ball to come up, and the ball smashes Lewis in the face. Tommy gives Lewis 24 hours to come up with the money that he owes, or else he'll be dead. After that encounter, Tommy returns to Big Doug, and he delivers the money that he collected from the other people who owe Big Doug throughout the day. Gives them their money, tell them that they've been paid off in full. Their debts are clean with him now. Big Doug tells Tommy that he needs him to deliver something to the German. It's the only name he's given, the German. It's Dolph Lundgren's character. If he completes this delivery, Tommy's brother's debt with Big Doug will be completely erased. And Tommy thinks about it for a minute, and he decides, all right, you know what? I want my brother taken care of. I'm going to do this for you, Big Doug. Let's handle it. Big Doug phones the German, lets him know that the package is en route. The German, meanwhile, meets with Nicholas, who's a competitor of his. And Nicholas tries to set the German up. But the German, he senses a betrayal and gets the jump on Nicholas's men, all before killing Nicholas himself. Meanwhile, at Farragut County Jail, Tommy has come to pay a visit to his brother. His brother is serving time. Some of Big Doug's goons are even inside the penitentiary with him. roughing him up a little bit, harassing him about the money he still owes to Big Doug. Tommy tells his brother that, I've got a job right now that I'm going to do, and once completed, your debt will be taken care of. And at first, Tommy's brother is a little hesitant, man. He's like, why are you doing this for me? And Tommy's like, in traditional Stone Cold fashion, he's like, well, hell, you'd do it for me if the shoe was on the other foot. Tommy returns to his house that evening, and he finds Darla. Darla's his wife, his girlfriend. The extent of their relationship isn't really defined in the confines of the movie, but she's Tommy's significant other. And Tommy comes home and he finds her wearing nothing but a towel. And Tommy convinces her to drop the towel, and the two have some intimate quality time together. Afterwards, they begin to talk about possibilities of Tommy quitting working for Big Doug. Darla asks him, what would you do if a miracle happened and you had money, you didn't have to work for him anymore? He ponders it because all he's ever really known in his life is working for Big Doug. The next day, Tommy and Julio head off on their journey to deliver the package to the German. And the package appears to be a wallet or a book of some sort. And the two men start to wonder, well, why didn't he just mail it to him? It's small enough. It looks insignificant. Why couldn't we have just mailed this package to the German, called it a day? Julio decides he's going to try to open it and see what's inside it. And a dart or a knife or something shoots out of it, kills him. This distracts Tommy. Tommy ends up flipping and crashing the car. He gets out, he runs into a convenience store, gas station type of place. While he's inside, a rival gang comes and begins to hunt Tommy. They want to get the package themselves. Figure if they can deliver it to the German or be able to access what's inside, they can have, a little bit of an edge on the German. Tommy's able to fight off the majority of the gang, killing 2 men, while the leader, Devin, escapes. Tommy runs off in one direction. Devin and his 2 associates who waited in their van take off in the other. Tommy finds a motorcycle, steals it, and continues on his mission to deliver the package. Devin calls Anthony, who's his boss, and Anthony puts a bounty onto Tommy's head. Now, Lewis, from the beginning of the movie at the bowling alley, he's an associate of Anthony's of some sort. So he text messages Tommy's picture to anybody and everybody. Drug dealers, crackheads, rival gangs, the whole nine. The more people that have Tommy's picture, the more people are going to be looking for Tommy. Tommy goes to a restaurant, uses the public bathroom to bandage himself up from the fight, and he continues his journey. Tommy calls Big Doug, and he tries to get him to send someone else to deliver the package. He feels that something's up. There's more here than meets the eye. Big Doug tells him, he's like, if I send somebody else, Tommy, your brother's debt won't be paid in full. He'll still owe me the money. You're not going to get paid for this job because you pulled out in the middle of it. And while I try to recover money loss, your take-home pay is probably going to suffer for the next few weeks, maybe even a month. So Tommy goes ahead and he relents, agrees to finish his task for Big Doug. One of Anthony's men spots Tommy and begins to follow him, attempting to retrieve the package from him. The two fight it out in an alley, and both men get some good shots on each other, but in the end, Tommy is victorious, but he lets the other man live. And two of Anthony's associates show up. One of them uses a taser on Tommy, take him down. And when they bring Tommy to Anthony, Tommy kills him with one hit. And with Anthony dead, Devin and the others turn their focus onto Tommy. And Monique, one of the girls, the only girl who was in the van when Tommy fought them the first time, begins to torture Tommy. See, one of the men that Tommy killed back at the gas station was her boyfriend. And Tommy is able to get her to come close enough to him that he's able to use her momentum to help break the chair he's sitting in and able to free himself in the process. Once he's free, he kills Monique. Devin then returns to the room where Tommy had been kept, and he finds Monique dead. Him and Tommy begin to fight it out, and Tommy kills him. So now there's only one member of the crew left, and he's not even a major member. He's kind of an insignificant member. He was one of the guys in the van back at the gas station incident. Tommy begins to leave, and the last man shoots him. He doesn't kill Tommy. He just injures him, wounds him. And when Tommy comes to, he's strapped down in a chair at the German's place. We learned the wallet was insignificant all along. Tommy is the real package. You see, the German is seriously ill, and he needs a blood transfusion. But the German has an extremely rare blood type, HH. And normal blood, O, A, AB, etc., you can use different variations of those bloods to transfuse with each other. There's certain ones that are compatible with the others. HH, you can only use other HH blood. Tommy just so happens to have the same blood type. Essentially, Big Doug sold Tommy to the German. And Tommy tells the doctor who's about to operate, there's an issue with my blood. If you give my blood to the German, you're going to kill him. And he gets the doctor to lean in so he can disclose to him what the issue with is. And Tommy lunges in and he bites the doctor's neck. He then uses his strength and adrenaline to break the binds holding him down in the chair and set himself free. The German and Tommy begin to fight it out. Tommy beats the German down before pulling his gun, shooting him and killing the German. Tommy returns to Big Doug after the mission is over. Anthony's dead. Devin's dead. Anthony's men are dead. The German's dead. Tommy goes to Big Doug and wants to know why he sold Tommy out. Tommy asks Big Doug if the German paid him in advance. Big Doug says, yes, of course. The money that was paid to me is what is wiping your brother's debt clean. Okay. Tommy then wants to know, well, what does that mean for you and me now? And Big Doug's like, well, we can handle this one of two ways. We can go back to business as usual. You work for me, you collect for me, you're my muscle. Or we can cut our ties with each other, go our separate ways. No hard feelings towards you. Tommy uses that opportunity to get out of the game, just like Darla wanted. Leave Big Doug behind. Tommy goes to see his brother in jail again, and he lets his brother know, hey, your debt is clear. You owe Big Doug nothing. Tommy's brother is extremely grateful, of course. Once again, Tommy's like, you'd have done the same thing for me if the shoe was on the other foot. Don't worry about it. You're my brother. And Tommy takes the car that he stole from the Germans, in order to get himself home, takes it to a local dealer, and he trades the car for a pickup truck. And Gary, the dealer, calls for Tommy. He's like, hey, you forgot something in the trunk here. And Tommy comes back and grabs his duffel bag that's in the trunk there, takes it on his way back to the pickup, opens it, and this duffel bag is full of money. He calls Darla up, lets him know that he's home, lets her know that he's okay. And he asks her, is like, remember what you said when you were asking me what we'd do if a miracle happened? Because I think one just happened. He tells her that he loves her. Our movie ends. This was another good one for Stone Cold Steve Austin. I really enjoyed it. I still think I prefer Knockout as my favorite of his films so far. But all in all, Stone Cold has done a really good job with his films. I definitely prefer this one over Hunt to Kill. I would say I put this one right about even there with Knockout, though, as my two favorites that I've seen of him so far. We still have one more that we're going to watch this month, Tactical Force, in 1 week. But Stone Cold has been one of my favorites that I've seen films from this month, especially since I hadn't really seen any of his acting before, aside from like little bit stuff like in The Expendables. So when it comes to my rating for this, I am going to give The Package 3.5 out of 5 stars. I would have probably bumped it up to 4 if there had been a little bit more name recognition in this one. Austin and Dolph Lundgren were the only real names that I knew in the film. But yeah, 3.5 out of 5 stars. I think this was a really good film. A good offering by Stone Cold Steve Austin. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Let's make sure we get out there on social media, get those hashtags trending. Hashtag Casa D18 Studios, hashtag Renegades Reviews, hashtag Renegade Returns, and of course the ever popular hashtag Shenanigans. We interrupt this episode of Renegades Reviews for an important announcement about
merchandising.
Merchandising? What's that?
Merchandising. Come, I'll show you. Merchandising, where the real money's made.
Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network for all the t-shirts you see here from the West Coast professor, Jeff Meacham himself. You can get shirts for the Jeff Meacham Network, Talk Wrestling, as well as the red and gold Meachamania shirts. And while you're there, don't forget to get your shirts of the Casa D18 Studios Brotherhood, the Dads on Wrestling shirt, the Renegade JJ Williams, Statboy Sports Bar, and the hashtag StatBoyApproved shirt. Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network and score your shirts today. Make sure you do what that commercial just told you. Get out there, go to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network. Get you your official t-shirts for the Jeff Meacham Network, your Meachamania shirts, your Talk Wrestling shirts. Get you your official t-shirts of the Casa D18 Studios Brotherhood, your Renegade JJ Williams shirt, Stat Boy Sports Bar, Dad's Not Always on Wrestling, and so much more. Tomorrow, right back here on the Casa D18 Studios channel. Make sure you join me for another brand new episode of Renegades Reviews when I bring to you from 1996 The Secret Agent Club, starring Hulk Hogan. The film that he was shooting just before he joined the New World Order. This should be another fun one to get into. So make sure you're back here tomorrow to join me for that. Leave your thoughts in the comment box below. As always, I will reply to them. I might even read one on March 30th on this month's episode of Renegade Recap. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you all next time.